Hey, welcome back. I'm Jana with Purl Together, and in this week's technique video, we're going to talk about block number 9 of the Berroco blanket mystery knit along. So we've been doing cables this month. I really enjoyed block 8. I think you'll really enjoy block number 9 as well. You'll learn how to do kind of a braid with cables, but you still are only managing 3 stitches over 3 stitches. So that's pretty straightforward. It just ends up looking like a braid, and you'll see why. I'll show you how to do that technique and also how to cable without a cable needle. We'll revisit that from block 8 during block 9. Let's get started. All right, let's talk about the chart for a minute. We've done the cast on, and again, as with some other blocks that we've had, I want you to just take notice that the 1 here is on the left-hand side, so that means if you're reading a chart, that row number 1 is going to be the wrong side of your work, and then row 2 and subsequent even rows are the right side of your chart. So just take note of that. Now this is going to mean no stitch is here, so when we're casting on here, then we're reading the chart from left to right on this first row, and then going up to row 2 and then back across, up to row 3 and then back across, as one does when you're knitting back and forth. So make sure you read your chart notes, make sure you review the instructions on how to perform each cable, and then I'm going to show you also. So when we're going through, and you can verify this with the written instructions if you like, but when we're going through, we're going to knit all of these stitches, then purl one, and then knit, and this just means we're skipping this. This is just a placeholder spot that they needed to have in the grid here, because we're going to have a make one on row 2. I just wanted to point out that you're beginning the chart on the wrong side of your work. So if we look at what I've done here, I've got my cast on, which I use my long tail cast on calculator, and I ended up coming out with only 6 to 8 inches left of a tail. So I did my long tail cast on, and then I have my first row, row 1, with the occasional purl. So I've worked through that. Now I'm ready for row 2, which is the make one. Now you can do your make one any number of ways, but I'm, again, same as the last block, I'm going to show you how I prefer to do a make one. Okay, so I knit 8, did my purl 1, and now I have knitted 2, and now I come to the make one. So again, I'm going to prefer to do a lifted increase, and you can decide whatever you want to do. You can also do the bar increase right here, where you just simply go in, lift that up, and then knit through the back of it to close the hole. You can do a front back, knit front back. I don't prefer that because I think it leaves a little gap. So there's any number of ways you can go about this, but I'm going to do it the same as I did last time, where I'm going to kind of do a mirrored increase, and I'm going to go in underneath the left leg of the grandmother stitch. If you watched the last video, you'll know what I mean by that. If you're new to this technique, I will also put a link down below in the video description for a little bit slower video that you can watch. Then I have 3 knit stitches between, and then I'm going to want to have my right leaning increase. So I'm going to go down to my row below and again lift the grandmother's right leg. Now this is the grandmother, remember, because you have the daughter on the stitch that you've just made. Then this is the mother because we haven't knitted the daughter yet, and then the grandmother is down below. So then I'm just going to lift the grandmother's right leg. And you can pair these the other way. If you want them to lean the other way, that's fine. It's not going to make a huge deal within the context of this particular block. It's not like you're increasing and decreasing for a sleeve or another purpose. So, and remember, we're also going to knit the stitches between the red lines on the chart. That's our chart repeat, remember? So you can count and make sure that you're knitting the stitches between and keeping track of where you are. All right, I've done the purl, and I've come back to the beginning of my chart repeat, so I'm knitting 2. And again, this is the daughter. I want this one to lean toward the end, toward the center, so I'm going to want it to lean left. So I have the daughter, the mother is this stitch, and the stitch down below that is the grandmother. So I'm going to lift the grandmother's left leg up on the left needle, just as if it were a regular knit stitch, but you can notice that it's oriented incorrectly, so I knit into the back of that to twist it and have a correct stitch mount. Again, if you haven't seen that before, I'll put a video down below in the description so you can go and see what these right and left lifted increases are all about. Okay, I'm going to carry on with this row doing that, and everything else should be pretty self-explanatory, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do when we get up to row 6 and we have our first cable. Okay, the other thing I want to point out while we're working this chart back and forth is I mentioned that the odd numbered rows are on the wrong side of the work. So because of you're working on the wrong side, these will be knits, not purls. So on the right side, they're purls. On the wrong side, they are knits. Usually the key to the chart will indicate that somewhere. My preview pattern did not. So just make sure that you know that on the wrong side, these are knits, and the blank spaces are purl. So it's opposite when you're working on the wrong side. Okay, now I want to show you how to do a right cross. So if you look at the instructions on the right cross, it says slip 3 stitches to the cable needle and hold them to the back. Then we're going to knit the next 3. And then we will knit the ones off the cable needle. Now, some people feel like when you're pulling these to the left, that should be a left cross. However, my take on it is the stitches in the front are leaning off to the right. They're crossing over to the right. So in my mind, that's why it's called a right cross. So you're just repositioning stitches and making a twist. Okay, so then we'll knit the next 3, and I like to give that a good little tug so there's not a gap between those two. All right, and then we'll purl the next one. That frames that column of purl stitches here that you can see now is going to frame our cables. And that's going to become a braid, as you will see when we get to row 10. Okay, so for this row, we're just doing right crosses through the whole repeat. Let me show you that one more time. Okay, again, I'm going to take my cable needle, slip your stitches purlwise. You always slip as if to purl unless the pattern specifically tells you otherwise. That way you're not twisting anything or changing the stitch mount. So hold those to the back. Then you're going to knit the next 3. Now, as you can tell, I'm just using a DPN in place of a cable needle. I just prefer that because it's a little bit longer. So then I'm going to knit the next 3 to cross those over the front. Then I knit the 3 from the cable needle. That's also, as I mentioned in the previous block, when you do cables, you kind of suck in the fabric of your knitting and it draws it together. And so that's why we did all those increases in the first row, was so that our cast on edge would be the correct width for our block, but then we have more stitches to offset the sucking in from the cables. Hopefully that makes sense. Right, I'm just going to carry on with the repeats, and then in a moment I'm going to show you how to cable this without a cable needle for a right cross. All right, if I were going to do a right cross here without a cable needle, I'm going to be really careful, and I'm going to drop off these 3 stitches because those are the ones you would want to hold to the back. So those need to stay in behind what I'm doing. So I'm going to take my right hand needle and work it into the 3 stitches that I'm going to bring over across, and I'm going to scooch my needle out to the left needle out to the point where those first 3 stitches drop off. I am pressing those stitches right here so they don't ladder down. And then I'm just going to go put the needle back into those 3 stitches and bring those others across. Then I'll put these back onto the left needle so that I can just knit all of them. So unless you're comfortable fixing things, I don't know that I would do that. I'm okay, I think, doing like a 4x4 cable. Past that, I will definitely use a cable needle. But if you're nervous at all about doing that, it's not worth. Because if you drop something, then it takes longer to fix it, right? Than the time you're saving by trying it. So do what you feel is best. Okay, so I've done my right crosses. Now I'm just going to knit through rows 7, 8, and 9, being mindful of my purl lines that are going to go across there and kind of make that purl textured pattern in between my cables. Okay, So I'll be back for row 10 and show you how to do the left cross. All right, I'm on row 10 and I'm going to do the left cross cable in just a moment. But what I want to point out real quick is we have this panel here that's offset by these purl columns. So there's 9 stitches in between here. We just used the first 6 of them to make our right cross. Now we're going to knit 3 and use the last 6 stitches to make the left cross. So this is what's going to make it look like a braid, like a 3-strand braid. So I'll show you what I mean. Sometimes it takes a few rows for the pattern to emerge, but you'll see. So I know that I'm going to go ahead and knit across the first 3 stitches, and then I want a left cross. So that means I'm going to bring these 3 stitches to the front so that they can cross over the other stitches and lean to the left. So I bring these first 3 to the front, slip 3 to the cable needle, hold to the front. And this is a little awkward flopping around in front of you, but just ignore it and knit the next 3 stitches. So those go across the back. Now, see how I always scooch the stitches down on my left needle so I don't lose anything? Make sure that this isn't twisted funny. And now we're going to draw these across our work so that it leans to the left. And you're just going to knit those right off onto your right needle like normal. Okay, now the next stitch is a purl. This is where some people have, like get a little bit of a hole or a little gap right there when they bring that forward. So again, you just want to make sure that snug that up really well. We're going to purl 1 stitch and go back to knitting across the next section. So what's going to happen here is you're going to knit across this next section, do your left cross again. But on these little vertical columns that are not containing a cable, you're going to have these stitches that make a line. So you're going to have blocks with a purl ridge, block with a purl ridge. This block is 3 rows. So you can tell that 1, 2, 3, and then you have your purl ridge. So if you're ever set your work down and you're unsure where you are, you can look at this, the ridge section, and you can tell how many are in between. Okay, I'll go ahead and knit across, and then I'll show you that left cross cable again. So just follow the instructions to do that. But if you wanted to do it without a cable needle, again, we're going to knit across the first 3 stitches of the 9-stitch panel. Then I'm going to sneak my working needle behind. Now these are the 3 stitches I want to be in the front because they're going to cross over and lean off to the left. So I'm going to go in behind here, take my needle in behind, and underneath, see that one popped off, that's okay. You can always just put your thumb here and go ahead and take those off if it's easier, and then just slip your stitches right on over, then take your left needle back over and pick those up, making sure not to re-twist them, and then you've done your cross. See, now I'm going to put these stitches back over on the left side so I can just knit them like normal. Whoops, there we go. And again, if you're concerned about dropping a stitch, rightfully so, just use your cable needle. There's no knitting police that says you have to do it without a cable needle. And again, I'm going to bring this to the front and I'm going to give it a good little tug and do my next purl, being sure to give that a tug so there's not a gap. Okay. Whoops, I just wanted just one of those. Okay, then I'm going to knit across. And I'll show you that crazy 3/3 without a cable needle again. Okay. Whoops, that should have been a purl. See, I'm talking, not paying attention. So I need to maintain my purl columns between my panels. And I think I still needed 1 more knit, then a purl. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to knit these first 3. Then I want the next 3 to come to the front. So I'm going to go in with my right hand needle into the 4th stitch and the 5th and 6th. See that? Then I'm going to pull my left hand needle out and release these first 3, mashing my thumb on there. Okay. then go right back in and pick those up on the front side because that's the stitches crossing over, okay? Slip all these back to the left. Whoops, I split that one. So then you can knit. Okay, again, my next stitch is a purl. So I want to make sure to give that a good little tug so I don't have any gaps, and knit to the end of the row. Okay, I'm going to carry on. The only other thing I want to mention is you are repeating the stitches in between the red lines as you're reading your chart. And then also you're repeating the row between the red lines as well, all the way up. You're repeating rows 4 through 11. Okay, I've worked the block as many chart repeats as I need, and now I'm ready for the last couple of rows. And now I'm just going to do my decreases. So if you recall, we increased at the beginning to account for the cable contraction, is what I like to call it. And now we're just going to go ahead and do some decreasing here. In the same way, I am on row 12, working from the right-hand side to the left, and these indicate no stitch because we're combining these two stitches together. And then again, we're going to repeat the stitch count between the red lines. So that's just a simple knit 2 together. Really straightforward. And it just gets us back down to our original starting point, our original stitch count where we began. Okay, I have my purl, I've knit 2, and I'm just going to knit 2 together, knit 2 more, whoops. Okay, knit 2 together, knit 2 more stitches, knit those 2 together, then I should just have 1 remaining knit stitch in this section before my purl column, and I do. Knitting straight across that section with the purl ridges. So the only time I'm decreasing is on top of my cable pattern. So just keep repeating those until you get back down to your stitch count. Then we'll just work back on the wrong side row and bind off, and we're done. I hope you found those tips helpful. Feel free to show me your blocks. I'd love to see them on Instagram at @Purl_together, or feel free to join our Facebook and Ravelry groups. The links are down below in the video description. Watch for an upcoming video in a few days about our next knit along and how you can join in for doodle knitting, which is where you take different motifs and you can mix and match and create all kinds of beanies or mittens or cowls, scarves, all kinds of things. It's kind of a create your own adventure kind of a deal. So watch for details about that in the next few days. Thanks for watching.